Okay, good morning everyone. So today I'm going to make a video about how I lost weight after pregnancy, and this is one of my most asked questions. And wherever I go, even if I meet someone on the street, the one thing they tend to ask me is, how did you lose the pregnancy weight? And my answer is obviously very straightforward, that I did it by working out, by taking care of my health, by eating well, eating right. And I know a lot of people are expecting different, excuse me. So I think a lot of people maybe expect a different answer, or something like, oh, it just happened miraculously. But that's not true. I work really hard towards to bring back my weight down, bring my weight back down, and it has been a long process. So I always tell people it's not something that's going to happen overnight, because that's not practical, it's not possible, right? You have to let your body rest, you let your body heal. But there are lots of things you can do to speed up the process, to make sure that it does happen, and to yeah, just feel like yourself again in a way. I mean, you can feel like you're happy in on with any weight, right? But it's like a state of mind. So yeah, number one, state of mind. So you need to understand that that happiness is not linked to how you look physically, and it's not about that. Like, happiness and success in life is not about that, so that should be not linked to losing weight. Okay, so number one, as soon as I gave birth, before I gave birth, I was very prepared for it, and I really wanted to lose weight right afterwards. So I had the Sweat app downloaded on my phone, and I used to do workouts using it while I was pregnant. And although, like, so I'm a doctor, right? So I knew what I could do and what I couldn't. So I was very aware about what's harmful for the baby and what's not. So I was very careful with the exercises I chose to do. But I'm like a long-term, very old subscriber of the Sweat program. So, and I always have it, whether or not I'm using it. Yeah, but I'm always subscribed to it. So I had that on my phone, the Sweat app. So yeah, I will link it somewhere over here. So I downloaded the post-pregnancy workout plan, and that is amazing. Like, this woman has done wonders, like, really, and she's helped so many people. Kayla, she's helped so many people around the world. So I downloaded her post-pregnancy program, and I started doing it the very next day. So I gave birth, I had a very complicated labor, and I then gave yeah, then so the next day, when I was finally, like, so that night I stayed in the hospital, and as I uh, actually, pretty much, yeah, that the next night I started walking. So the post-pregnancy program starts very simply. It starts very simply. So you just have to walk. That's what you have to do. You have to walk for half an hour. And I remember I got up and my whole body was wobbly. Like, literally, I when the doctor came, and I remember actually thinking that this is a junior doctor who's probably younger than me. But anyway, I remember thinking and asking her that, are you sure my nerves are okay? Is there no nerve damage? Because, like, I can barely, like, find my balance again. And that was because I had such a prolonged labor, and I was so bloated, so not used to this new weight adjustment. My center of gravity maybe was somewhere else, and it took me a while, right, to adjust to it. And also, I was very constipated, so I was holding on to a lot of, like, food, digested food inside, if I put it very uh, simple, or not so harsh terms. Yeah, so I got up, and I had this weird sensation. I was literally wobbling like that. But I remember my husband was there to look after my baby, and I told him, I'm just gonna go down to for a walk and see if the vending machine is working. And that was my target. The vending machine was outside the hospital in another building, and I very quietly went step by took my steps to walk. And obviously, I don't recommend this to everyone. You have to make sure that you know your hospital policy, whether it's safe or not, whether your baby is well looked after or not, how your condition is or not. But my goal was to just walk up to the toilet, and then from there to the vending machine and back. And my incentive was, okay, I'll probably pick a snack, or, like, some energy bar. So that happened. The next day I did that again, and it's like that for a while. Okay, so the 2 weeks, all the app tells you to do is actually just do some uh, hip exercises, or some ab exercises. But the number one thing with that is, you have to first make sure that there is no gap in your rectus abdominis. Like, so the abdominal wall should not be damaged. So you have to make sure that there's no like gap in the muscle, the rectus abdominis, which is the front muscle, and the abdominal muscle basically, and it has not has not torn anyhow. See, that is very, very important, like seriously. So you should not be doing any weightlifting exercises if that is torn. And I'm very serious about it, like seriously, don't do this. So there is a special maneuver for it. I'll probably link it down now, like here, because yeah, so you have to do that. There's a way to check it, and I did that, and there was no gap in my abdomen, but I kept repeating it like literally every few days just to be extra sure. So once you know that you don't have a gap, you can mm, yeah, you can do exercises that put pressure on the abdomen. Okay, so let's go back a few yeah, let's go back a little bit. So okay, why can't you do exercises when there's a gap in your wall, right? The reason is because if you put pressure and like excessive pressure on your abdominal muscles, then the chances are that it can come out, your abdominal contents can come out through the gap, and they can even get lodged there, and that can be a very serious, very dangerous condition. So you do not want that at all. Seriously, girl, you don't want that. So you don't want to, like, you're trying to look better, but you don't want to make your condition worse. So don't do this. Even if you think you know have all the exercises on with you, don't try to do something if you're not sure. Go consult a specialist. Your GP even can help you now, and yeah, take it from there. Anyway, so once you know, then the point is you have to start building your core strength, and that is key. If you want to lose weight, there are like lots of things you can do. One is you can lose weight all over your body. That is excellent. But one of the things that women struggle with the most is belly fat and abdominal belly, like abdominal fat and lower belly fat. Oh, that's the worst for everyone, not just for like pregnant women. That's the worst thing for everyone. And I think if I'm not wrong, then that's the last area that the body loses fat on, because it's so easy for fat to collect there. So yeah, that is very important. Yeah, okay, so I hope so far I've told you that I use the sweat app. I also checked that there was no gap in my abdominal muscles, that there was no tear there, and then I said there are two ways in which you can lose weight, but either all over your body, or and also you have to focus on core strength. So if I talk about myself, so before I had now, yeah, it's a little bit sad, a little bit serious, maybe or maybe not. I don't know. Let's see how many of you can relate to this. So after I gave birth, I swelled up like crazy. Like I was a swollen, like yeah, I was this swollen whale afterwards, which is weird because I had like slim arms during my pregnancy. I had like, you know, everything was fine, my face was okay. I mean, it was like a little bit swollen, but not like crazy. My foot size was the same, my feet were not swollen, and I was okay. But as soon as I gave birth and my womb started contracting, what happened was, since maybe I wasn't a big person before having giving birth, right? Sorry, let me have a sip of this peppermint tea. Yeah. So okay, so yeah, so this is a big story, and it's a lot for me to say it, but anyway, so after I gave birth, I lost all my womb started contracting, and as it contracted, what happened was all the fluid inside the womb, it started extravasating. It started going out of my womb literally, and went all over my body. Okay, so it got distributed all over my body. My feet were swollen, my face was swollen, my hands were swollen. It was bizarre. Like I gave birth and did not have the baby with me inside me. Now the baby was outside, but I was like, I look pregnant then, and which is bizarre because a lot of women get this before they're pregnant, and they really complain about it. But maybe, you know, you don't want it afterwards. I just like to say to those women, maybe you don't want it afterwards, you know. So I was that person who got that afterwards. Anyway, so I had to deal with it. One, I had to accept it. I had to understand this is what's happening to me. I was on, I was obviously, I was breastfeeding as well, and it is supposed to help you, you know, in losing weight. But anyway, that was not my purpose. That wasn't my reason why I was breastfeeding. I was breastfeeding because colostrum is good for the baby, and breast milk is healthy for the baby if your baby can digest it, and if you're okay, you're doing well. So I did it for all those reasons. But yeah, how long I breastfed my baby is another story, and that is a completely different topic. Right now we're just talking about losing weight, so let's stick to that. So that happened, and then I was just stuck. I was like, I have this bloated belly. I'm working out. I started working out, started doing squats after a while. I started weight training. I've always loved weight training, so I did that. And my number one thing was I'm gonna walk anywhere. So I would literally every day almost take my baby out for a walk. So I thought, if somebody has a pet, right, they take their pet out for a walk. Like for example, someone has a dog, right? So they take their dog out for walks. But why? I mean, how can people keep their babies at home, right? How can they? So how can they really keep the babies at home? And I was like, no, I can't do that, and I have to go for a walk. So I started doing that. I started going to the mall, sorry, and to places like that. I'd skip a station, walk to a different station, and I knew how to drive at this point, but I decided to like walk. And honestly, it was cold outside, it was raining outside, I couldn't make it, I couldn't manage. I would literally walk from one end of the house to the other, like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you know what, if I'm very, very honest with you, I would just look at the clock, 10 minutes, and that is how much I walked, 10 minutes at a time. I couldn't do more than that. Yeah, I couldn't. And I was like, fine, I'll just do 10 minutes for now. And I I kept that. So that really helped. I never eat sugary stuff, like I don't like that. But during my pregnancy I started having lots of chocolates towards the end in the third trimester, and Bounty and like Mars and Snicker bars. So I had to slowly cut that if I was still having any, and I made sure that I wasn't having any sugary snacks like ice cream or something like that. They occasionally I did, but I avoided it as much as I could. I avoided soda as much as I could, so nothing like that. And like, so just water, green tea, tea, stuff like that. And I've always had a balanced diet, and 5 to 6 meals a day, small meals a day, small frequent meals. So I stuck to that. But working out was key, and it was either the workouts on the Sweat app, workouts that I knew from working out over the years, and especially I just had those lightweight dumbbells inside. So 2 kilo dumbbells. After I gave birth, just a 2 kilo dumbbell was difficult to lift. Like I couldn't do lateral raises with it very easily, but I was like, no, I'm going to do it, and I did, and it helped. So I like a woman who has like a strong shoulder, who can sit up straight, upright, and who has like good muscles around her arms. So that is I find that, I think that looks very flattering on a woman, and she looks really attractive when she has that physique. So I started doing those exercises, lateral raises, 2 kilo dumbbells. There were times when I would just do it with my arms. Okay, I'm being honest with you. And I do 2 kilo dumbbells, bicep curls, tricep extensions. It was bizarre, but I was like, no, I'll stick to it. Moved on to the 4 kilo one, kept one at home for days I didn't want to go to the home gym or to the main gym, so yeah, that's what I did. But after a while, I realized that I was having symptoms after eating certain foods and not after eating certain foods. So I would get severely bloated or get severe muscle cramps, or literally was belching like mad after eating certain things. And I started noticing it one by one. I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna isolate items. This is bizarre, it should not happen to me. Why is this happening to me? And I started isolating items, right? And once I did, oh, that is another story as well. Like, I think I should make a proper video on it, and if you want to see that, let me know in the comments below, and I will probably. So I started eliminating food items, and I remember I had this one particular ingredient, like I had a rye bread, and I had the worst symptoms. And also with couscous. Was it couscous? Yeah, I think couscous. Yeah, I had the worst symptoms after couscous, and because I was just having one item at a time, I could really tell which thing is what is causing me symptoms and what's not. So I booked myself an appointment with a dietitian, consulted her online. She was at that time sitting in Mayfair, and she was incredible. She instantly recognized that I had a reaction to, okay, not a reaction, but basically, yeah, that's another story. So if you want to hear that, I'll let you know. But you just have to leave a comment down below so that I know you're interested, and then I'll tell you my story. So yeah, so I found out I was intolerant to quite a few food items, and that was it. That was key. The minute I found out my diet, I figured out what worked and what didn't work for me, altered my diet, adjusted it to my body, yeah, my post-pregnancy body, okay, like, which is a completely different body to the body before. Okay, seriously. And it's okay, you are not alone if you're feeling this way. I have been there, and there are so many thousands and thousands of women around the world, millions and millions of women around the world, or billions over the years who've gone through this. Okay, so it's okay, it's all right. Number one. But yeah, so once I figured that out, I started feeling better, and my belly fat started going down, 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 down. My bloating was gone. I figured that worked really well. So because in that process I learned that peppermint tea is excellent. I have a blog post on the things that will stop you from bloating or reduce your bloat. You can find it at Halima Afan online at just halimaafan.com. Just type halimaafan.com and it's going to come up. And yeah, so I did that. That helped a lot. And yeah, so the diet was key. So another thing, diet is key. Drink lots and lots and lots of water. Don't have salt. Don't have salty stuff. Don't sprinkle stuff with salt. No, you don't want that. Because why? Okay, so if you were to put like a salt holds on to water. So if you put like a teaspoon of salt and you put water in it, fine, so it's gonna be salty water, but your body doesn't like salty water. Your body wants like plain waters, like that's just an example, but let's assume. So what's it gonna do? It's just going to dilute that salty water. So it's going to pour in more and more and more water, and by pour in I mean it's going to retain more and more and more water, right? And the more water it's going to retain, the more bloated you'd be. Okay, that's a very simple way to understand it, and I think that's how I learned in my science class, or my bio class. Yeah. So don't have lots of salt. Don't have oil, excessive oil. If you are even used to curries and stuff like that, just reduce the amount of oil. I'm not asking you to cut down anything. I'm just asking you to reduce it. Portion control is key. Make sure if you are used to like having say 2 rotis or 2 chapatis or I don't know what, reduce it, cut it to half, get rid of 1/3 of it, and it's gonna make a huge difference. And I'm not gonna say have roti or don't have roti, or have rice or don't have rice, because you would know what works for you, okay? But I would highly recommend not trying any diet whatsoever without consulting a specialist, a dietitian, and not a nutritionist online, unless you really trust this person's credentials, okay? Because I mean, I have nothing against any nutritionist, any dietitian. All I'm trying to say is that consult someone is good, and not otherwise. And the best way to find out who's good is going through your GP. Simple, okay? Yeah, so I hope this has helped. Yeah, leave me comments, and there's no secret there. I have done quite a few things. Yeah, so now, okay, let me just say this. So now I'm working on my core strength, and I find that that is key. And I'm also working on my glutes more and more now. So yeah, and I have to remind you that my child is almost 2 years now. So although I did lose weight sort of quickly, but it's only after 1.5 years that I started feeling like I am like really good about myself, okay? But now, even now, you know, I'm human and I want to improve, so I'm constantly doing that and trying to do that, and it's okay. There are days when I have a bloated belly and I hate it, and I know it's because I ate something that I wasn't supposed to eat, or yeah, or I didn't drink enough water, or I didn't sleep properly, or I was holding on to stress, which is stressing which in turn stresses my body out. So yeah, you just have to find that balance, believe in yourself, be patient, not compare yourself to anybody out there at all. Like, no way. That is like the worst thing ever, okay? And yeah, just be happy, be content. Meet people, talk to people. The more you're going to meet people, especially like-minded people and people in the same situation as you, like-minded or not, like mothers, young mothers who've just given birth, you'll realize how you're doing, and you'll be able to like compare yourself in a positive way. Like, don't compare yourself, but like you'll be able to see that you are not doing so bad after all. Like, you're okay. Like, it's normal to feel a certain way at a certain point in your life, and it's okay, and that you will get there. And yeah, talk to people. That is also very, very, very important. Meet people, very important for a mother. You know, honestly, trust me, it's very important. And buy nice things for yourself, like, not like as a, not giving you that as a tip, but like, buy something if you want to. If something makes you feel better, get it for yourself. There's no harm in it. Treat yourself, whatever it is that makes you feel better, okay? And if this video helped me, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channels, or follow me, okay, on Insta, and yeah, online. Might check out my blog posts. I would love to have you here again. Bye.